Cuba, the director at the Hartland Area Chamber of Commerce. Today we're at the Black and Bling International Women's Day lunch, and today is actually International Women's Day. We had a panel of 4 wonderful, successful women in our county to come out and share their success stories and inspire entrepreneurs or women in business to be better.
With the woman who makes it all happen. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce my co-host today for our event, the Executive Director of the Hartland Area Chamber of Commerce, Katie Chuba.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. You guys all look beautiful. And the tables, and this is beyond my expectation, beyond what I visioned. And I cannot say thank you enough for all of you coming and attending, and I hope you have a great time today. Because that's probably I had a great time. So, a few things, and I have to use my cheeks. I'm getting old, and we all know how that goes. First thing, I have to do my thank yous. I have to say thank you, not only to all of you, but to some important people in the room, one of them which is Michelle Wilson with Mortgage One being presenting sponsor today. So thank you so much. I would also like to thank another partner, Rob Johnson with Habitat for Humanity, which the silent auction jewelry that you all see over there on your way to get your lunch today, please check it out. Thank you to FAO, who donated all those beautiful pieces, and the proceeds to that will go back to the Livingston County Habitat for Humanity's Women Bill and Pay. Is that right? Yeah. So we have lots of stuff on that table. I want to thank my chamber staff. So New, where are you, New? Yay, New and Jessica. And if you haven't, thank you guys. The hard work, especially that New has put in behind the scenes to get this event rolling. She does just a fantastic job. And Jessica Tomei, who is our new member engagement specialist. So those of you that are not members of the chamber, you better look out. She's coming after you today. Okay? Because this is all about how we are. I have to thank Scotty and Kenny from Scotty Alexander Entertainment for emceeing today. They do a top-notch professional job, and you will see them in action today, as you know. Thank you. You guys rock. I have to thank Lori Tomlinson from Lori Tomlinson Design for all the Black and Bling logo and all the design on the Black and Bling. That is all her doing. So, Lori, where are you? Raise your hand. I have to thank Hartland Flowers. I have to thank Mary Kay Cosmetics. Connie's not here today, but she did donate some good stuff. Who am I missing? Last but not least, I have to thank the amazing panel of women that are here with us today. We hope that you leave today listening to these women's success stories with a little bit of inspiration and motivation to make your life better. So, we're going to introduce them in a minute. So, without further ado, I do want to invite up at this time, oh, wait, I know I forgot. The door prizes. Holy smokes! There are 2 really cool purses up there, and I'm mad that I can't win one of those. I'm just saying. I love doing this, but that's one bummer, is I never get to win a prize. The prize is that I get to have all of you in my company today, so thanks again. So I would like to introduce Rob Johnson, the Executive Director from the Livingston County Habitat for Humanity, to share a few words about some of why the reasons we're here today.
Thank you for all the wonderful people in this room. International Women's Day. For me, every day is International Women's Day. I am surrounded by tons and tons of strong women in this world. Starting with my wife, she's my rock, she puts up with me, most importantly. I have a ton of wonderful women that are not only on our staff at Habitat and volunteers that make us what we are. So every day should be International Women's Day. And why we're here is because we have a program called Women's Build. Women's Build is a program that brings women together to fundraise for our affiliate, but also then we get to have fun. We dedicate the work days on our build site where women can come out all together and build towards our house or help a family in need out in our community. So along with that, there is pamphlets on your table expressing the Women's Build. There is also a clipboard. If you would like more information, please put your info on it, and we will send out either via email or mail, or both, if you want you guys involved, information on our Women's Build. We also have coming up on April 13th our gala. Our gala is our major fundraiser to Cleary University. We still have some sponsorships left, and we have a ton of tickets to sell, so please come join us. Now you say, well, we raise this money, what does it do? So I'm going to give you a real quick list. I know Katie wants me to go, she's got a packed agenda of some of the things that we've done in the community this past year. First and foremost, we built a home in Hartland. This home went to a single mother of 2 children who grew up in the foster care system but wanted a stable foundation for her children to grow up. Next, we've done we've helped 90 families with safety grab bars in our community. These are for the seniors and for those with disabilities so that they can feel safer in their homes as well as be able to age in place in their homes. Over this past winter, we have installed and replaced 3 furnaces for single women with children. So that's just a tidbit of what we've been able to do. So we are truly here and out in the community, and all the money raised goes towards all of these projects. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. And at this time, I have one more guest I'd like to bring up, just to say a few words, and that is our presenting sponsor. With her help, we could not make this happen today. So Michelle Wilson, Mortgage One, come on.
Hi, my name is Michelle Wilson from Mortgage One. I'd like to thank myself for sponsoring here and see all of you. I moved my office from South Lyon to Hartland, and I did it about 3 years ago, and I really wanted to figure out how to grow in this community because I'm all about the community thing. And the chamber has been huge, so thank you for that. So this is getting myself out there. I personally have had a story that led me in mortgage business. So over 26 years ago, which ages me in the business, but my first house that I bought, I went to it, couldn't get financed, next person couldn't get financed, next person couldn't get financed. I was young, but then finally somebody told me what I needed to do, and I took those steps, went through all the process, found an amazing home, was at the closing table, and I was $4,000 short. My interest rate was supposed to be 8.75, which back then was good. It was 9 1/4, and I said, wait a minute, what happened here? I couldn't find the loan officer. I couldn't find any communication. I'm sitting at the table, and how heartbroken am I as a single young woman trying to buy my very first house, had nowhere to turn to. Turned to my dad, who was a businessman, God love him. He loaned me the money at the same 9 1/4 rate, and we wrote up a contract, but I got my house. That being said, when I got into the industry 3 months later, I rewrote, of course, my home entire loan, fixed everything, but I vowed I would never in a million years put anyone in that situation. I am the hugest advocate on education. I won't tell someone no, I tell them how. I want to make sure you understand what the process is, what the information is, but that's kind of how I grew up doing it. So it's been over 20 years that I've been in the business. I have a little office here in Hartland, and by all means, the chamber has helped me expose myself to everyone as well. So I thank them for that, and thank all of you for that. So it's my honor to be here, especially when it's such a fun event. Black to bling, and who doesn't like that, right?
Thank you, Michelle.
All right, let's get down to it here. I'm going to have to refer to my cheat sheet now because I couldn't memorize all of this incredible information. Our first guest that we would like to invite up is a Howell native. She spent a portion of her life living outside of the Livingston County area when she was quote-unquote young and dumb. She has since come to her senses and come full circle back to the Howell area where she eats, sleeps, lives, and breathes residential real estate. Being the late bloomer that she is, she had a lot of different jobs over the years in and around the community. From a local receptionist at a local homeopathic clinic, bartending at Champs, which is the first place I ever met her, of course. Selling designer clothes at Impulse, selling telecommunications for Verizon and for Comcast and all sorts of other stuff in between. She now prides herself on building her real estate empire. It took her a minute to find her stride, but she is damn glad that she finally did. Ladies and gentlemen, please, from 3DX Real Estate and Livingston Lifestyles, welcome the wonderful Rachel Evers.
Our next wonderful woman to join us up here has been in business locally in Hartland for over 14 years. She opened up with no business experience and no financial backing. Just the belief in her products, her services, and the strong desire to succeed. Throughout the years, she has embraced the community, gives back continuously, and knows how to network and connect people. Her untraditional business boomed even through the recession. Today, her business is a multi-million-dollar business, and she strives to make people beautiful. Please help me welcome up the wonderful and beautiful Sue Alderson, owner of Fountain of Youth. Welcome, Sue.
This next lady knows how to get things done. She had an idea to make our community a better place, and with God's will, she turned her idea into reality. It's helping those in need. Her deep background in various service and fundraising organizations provided a stellar platform for her to launch Bountiful Harvest Incorporated. Initially, Bountiful Harvest Inc. was a food pantry, then it became a clothing pantry that was added, and then a soup kitchen, and later on a laptop program, Connected Kids, which is the latest addition to their services. And they are also just about to complete a new building as well. There's no need too small. There's no voice too quiet to be heard. She will devote the time and energy necessary to educate, advocate, and feed. Please, please help me welcome this amazing lady, the director of Bountiful Harvest, Yvonne Cavelli.
These are great introductions. And our final guest to join us up here today. This beautiful lady has her master's degree in instructional systems design, especially in engineering program development. She began working at Ford Motor Company when she was just 19 years old. Her manufacturing design background made for an easy transition into hat design, which also requires strong knowledge of design, shape, and form, fit, and function. With an engineering design, hat designers must be able to assess fit of product, example client's face, head shape, hat size, function, and any woman can wear a hat or a fascinator. It's about finding the best hat design to complement you and the wearer. Sorry. So please help me welcome up this amazing hat milliner, hat fascinator and designer, Rochelle Wilness by Derby Hats by Rochelle. Awesome, thank you ladies. Deep breath. Somebody need wine?
I know there's a cash bar here.
So, the vision here today was, we want to hear your story. We want to hear, right? We do, right? Yeah. 0508 is the code if you want to take some pictures.
No pressure.
Nothing secret. And, by asking, telling stories, having conversation, and maybe sharing what has worked for you, may maybe some hardships along the way, and what made you so successful. So we're going to keep it up.
Rachel, let's start with you. So, how did you get into the business that you're in currently? Building your real estate empire.
It's funny you should ask that. My story is almost identical to Michelle's. About 6-7 years ago, I bought my first house by myself. I had owned homes prior to that with various husbands and married men. So this one was going by myself. I bought a house and I had a real estate agent. And for most of the process, I had no idea what was going on. It came together just fine, but a little bit I couldn't stop shopping for houses, and a little bit I felt so lost. I was like, there's got to be a better way. So maybe I can provide that better way. Very simple choice.
That's a great answer. Yeah. It's your turn.
So let's just pass that microphone down the line. So Sue, put you on the spot here, because I know you love the spotlight. Yeah. So you said you had no, we had discussion on the phone, and I was trying to get an idea of, some of the questions we could ask these ladies. You had no business background, and no financial help. So tell us how you did it.
I had good credit, that's what I had.
We were just talking about that. That's it?
I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I had taken classes and I just kind of dabbled a little bit. I always worked in the hospital systems and had a secure job. And after I took the Botox training, I thought, well, it was in this area, it was unheard of in Michigan. No one had heard of Botox. So I just stuck my neck out, and I was lucky if I'd get one person to get Botox. And then finally, I thought, I'm going to open up a place in Fenton. Well, there were 2 or 3 places in Fenton, and I thought, well, they can't support another place. And I'm driving around, I didn't even know what Hartland was, and I find this corner right at 59 and 23, and I was like, wow, this is fun. And I just stuck my neck out. I signed a lease on this place, and I went home, and my husband said, you did what? And then I decided I needed all these machines and everything. And so everyone gave me credit because I had good credit because I'd worked my whole life. But then pretty soon you have to pay for everything. And that was the big thing. I was a one-man show. I had no employees. I had my little neighbor ladies that would come in and answer the phone and help me out. And it was just crazy when I think back of how I got started. And then slowly, customers would start trickling in, and we got busier and busier. And then you could hire one person. And we had quite a few rough years, quite a few bad financial years. But I tell people now, I said I had too much debt to quit. And one thing I always like to say is that when you open a business, it takes you like 3 years to figure out what you're doing. And the next 3 years to pay you for all the mistakes that you made when you didn't know what you were doing. For me, it was probably closer to 5. But it's hard. You just have to keep going. You work 6 days a week, and you just don't quit. And pretty soon you turn out on the other side. And that's when you know you made it then. But it's a lot of hard work.
Appreciate that. So tell us a little bit, besides Botox, what else do you do in your office? Because I don't know, despite what's in the magazine.
Botox is the #1 thing we do. Believe it or not, people will still come in and they'll be like, well, I have this spot over here and I need some Botox. In this area still, we're not like New York or California, people still don't know what it is, but we do fillers, we plump faces up, we do laser hair removal, we have a full sculpt machine that freezes fat, we have 5 different brands of methods of hair, we have IPL, so we have just about every kind of machine for any non-surgical cosmetic procedure. We do like acne treatments, we have mineral makeup, everything. It's not all about beauty. We make a lot of difference in a lot of people's lives. I've had women that have came into me and they have like Bell's palsy and their faces are uneven, and the doctors have just given up on them. Oh, we can't do anything else for you, or they want to charge them thousands and thousands of dollars. And, we kind of study them, and I'd be like, I think if I put a little bit of Botox there and there, and pretty soon it's like, wow, we've really lot more rewarding than, people think it's just all about vanity, but there are some people that, have just a lot of serious self-esteem issues and things that we got to put in people's faces.
Thank you, Sue.
So Yvonne, I don't really know a ton about Benova Harvest myself. It sounds like an amazing organization. Listen, I'm here to learn. Can you tell us something about Bountiful Harvest that is unique? Something about the services that you provide that's unique?
Well, we're unique because there's a lot of food pantries around, okay? And a lot of them have a lot of rules, which is fine. But we wanted to be a one-stop shop for people in need. And we didn't want to be somebody who was just the great giveaway. Give them food and send them along their way. We wanted to teach them how to fish. And that way they're going to sustain themselves for a lifetime. And the ones we focused on the most when we originally started were the children and the seniors. Because I've been in the industry, and seniors are on a fixed income, and I was totally amazed when I worked with some of these places to qualify them for services, that a lot of these seniors, especially the women, were living on $350 a month. And that's unbelievable, And what broke my heart a lot was when we had to tell somebody they didn't qualify for services because they made 50 cents too much a month. Now, I would like for you to tell me what you could do with 50 cents today. You can't even get a cup of coffee. You can't even get a glass of water for 50 cents. So when Bountiful Harvest started, first of all, we're all 100% volunteers. I'm a volunteer. I'm the founder, but I'm a volunteer. And everybody who works for us is volunteers. So anytime a donation comes in, 100% of that donation goes back to the community. Okay? And we feed them not only groceries, they come in and they get a grocery cart and they go in the grocery store and they can go grocery shopping and get what they want. We have a clothing department store that they can go there, they can pick out whatever they want. And we have clothes from newborns to adult size 5X. Okay, so, and then we have 2 employment agencies that work with our people to get them jobs and get them back on their feet. Last year we put 47 families back to work. Our turnover is approximately 60 to 65% a year that our clientele changes because we get them back to work or they get called back to work or they found themselves a job, and it's just totally amazing. And what do we get out of it? When you see a dad come in and he's living in his car with his 13-year-old daughter in this kind of weather, you get a lot out of it when you say, I'm grocery shopping every week. They don't have a refrigerator, they don't have a stove. So they have to shop every week for what they could do. So they shop every week for their groceries. We have blankets, we have, go camping. Sleeping bags. Thank you. See the moment I had there. Jumpsuit, whatever, snowsuit. And then we got into counseling. So we do counseling. And we do crafts on Saturdays for the children that can come in and have a lot of fun and do crafts, and we have games for them and all that kind of thing. And we started serving breakfast on Saturday morning. And it's amazing because, come and see us sometime. Come on down. We got the best breakfast in Louisiana. To give you an idea, because you're not going to appreciate what I'm going to say next until I tell you this, we serve French toast, scrambled eggs, sausage, oatmeal, bagels and cream cheese, fresh fruit, orange juice, and coffee. Our record for one client at one setting is 11 plates. And he was so skinny that if you turned sideways, you couldn't see him. And he'd come up to the counter after he ate, and he said, "I want to do the dishes." And I said, no. We're here to serve you, not you serve us. And he says, "You don't understand. This is the first meal I've had in over 8 months." And that's why he gave up the place. But we have now started a computer program to where any fifth grader, because by the time they get into middle school, they have to be able to do their homework on the computer. So we give fifth graders who are on the free or reduced lunch program free laptop computers. And we teach them how to use them. Once we get moved, we're going to be teaching them how to tear them apart, put it back together. We're going to teach them programming, so help them get a kickstart on a career, And we're going to have a library. So we're always expanding. We're always looking for new ideas, for new things to do. And as this lady going, I didn't have the credit this time because I did a theft, so I wasn't. We started with zero, and $0 invested, and everything we've done has been because of the goodness of people's hearts and the donations that we've received. And I thank you very much, and God bless each and every one of you.
About the Harvest has a new beautiful building that's being erected right behind the church. Thank you. Rochelle. So, I'm looking at this resume.
I know how to follow this person.
I know, we're gonna switch it 180 on you.
Can I just say real quick, too? What an incredible passion for service to your community. My goodness.
Amen.
Yvonne. You know what's happening here is just listening to you talk. Your passion for what you do is incredible. Thank you.
Thank you for putting me on the end.
We had 50 second graders in yesterday from school working on that.
All right.
That's absolutely fantastic.
They all decided they were my grandchildren, so now I'm up to 469 grandchildren.
I love it.
Well, looking at your resume,
Yeah.
Rochelle, that's nothing to sneeze at. You look at this list of accomplishments. It's
I just had
ridiculous.
to share some of this because when you sent this to me, I was like, I thought I knew her. You're very humble. I just have to share some of these things that this wonderful lady has been a part of. You've been winner of head-to-head hat competition at Michigan Fashion Fest, Style Line Magazine Editor's Choice. What's the one about tons of magazines? Featured Kentucky Derby on Fox 2 News. WD, are you going? And something about the Kentucky Derby this year. One of your hats is being featured. Is that correct? Okay. Many fashion shows, tons of charity events, local and national desires from New York and Michigan and New York City. And you were part of Fashion Week in New York. I see that. And it just, her list goes on. Recently acknowledged by esteemed hat designer Philip Tracy and his public relations rep for her passion for hat making, receiving a signed photo from Philip. Very cool.
Philip is the head designer for the royal family, so I was very glad.
There you have it. How on earth? Just, how? That's all I have to say. How? Tell me. How?
It's interesting because I have a technical background
And if someone would have told me even 20 years ago that I would be making hats after 8 years of college and getting a technical degree, I would have passed out this hat myself. So long story short, my husband and I had children, and I stayed home to take care of the kids, and they got into theater. And they said, oh, you know, you're the new person, you need to be in charge of costuming. And I thought, really? That's wonderful. So I started doing costuming, and I fell in love. And I've known Kenny. We actually, when we were younger, I was Lucy, he was Linus.
True story.
So I think the old theater girl in me sort of emerged, and I started making hats for Music Man. We did a show, and all of a sudden it was like, I think I can do this. And not just do it, but love it. And people will say, wow, it'll be great if hats make a comeback or hats do a sale. I'll tell you, whatever you are into, you will find people who are into it. Whatever you like. Totally. Every woman in here could be up here right now saying their story because we all have a gift that we could make a ton of money for. I'll tell you, I started making these hats, made them for friends. It was word of mouth. That's how I met Katie. A friend referred me. And lo and behold, I had this business, and where my engineering background comes into play is I design hats that slide on headbands. So you can create the desired look that you want. So I create, as you can see, there's a few that I have brought with me over there. And then I make small pieces like this. There's a hat for everyone, there's a style for everyone, there's a right way, there's a wrong way. Not everybody's going to look into something big like that, something maybe, you know, smaller. But it was just word of mouth. I'm self-taught. I just had a passion for it, but I think, honestly, any woman in here could be up here talking about their achievements, truly.
So, but it's never been just fun making hats, is that right?
No, because what happens is I know I look, you know, fabulous up here now, right? But most of the time, I look like a homeless elf in my hat studio, in a chair, in my stinky pajamas, making hats. That's the reality of it. That's my real life. I actually have scratches on my hands. I can't keep a pedicure because I really do look like a homeless elf. But I love it, you know, and I have a full studio in my home. I have people that come, I go to events, I started doing hat making classes, which I have done for people here with this group. But the Polo Classic and meeting Katie.
You're welcome.
Yes, yes, that's really the statement. You're welcome, and yes, thank you. Because last year, with your event and all the Kentucky Derby events, I did 600 hats. I sold to several states on Instagram, I've done Facebook, and I do a lot of unique styles that people might think, oh, that's crazy, but who doesn't want to look crazy every once in a while and be fun? Because it's enjoyable, but that's sort of my long and short of it, I guess.
Yeah, but we had a talk on the phone.
Okay.
And what, do you remember that conversation?
We've had a lot of talks on the phone.
The one about how hard you work and what it takes.
Oh, yes. I will be literally not sleeping for 3 months because I have clients, and most of my clients are professional business women that work all day like a lot of you. And they'll call me at 8 o'clock at night and say, Rochelle, I need something for tomorrow. Just something small. You know that big white one you have, as an example? You don't have any of that left, do you? And I'm not the person to say, oh, no, I don't. Sure, I can do that. Oh, great, I'll be tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I'm thinking, okay, if I stay up now, it's 10 o'clock. I can have it done. But yes, I'm working nonstop. It's not just all glamorous or all parties. I'm working nonstop so that my clients can have parties. And there's been many times where I said, you know what, I don't know if I can do this anymore, but you know, as a lot of us do, we have that little voice inside us that says, yes, this is what I want to do. You know, I'm listening to all of these stories, and you know you can make it happen. You have the wherewithal to do that. But honestly, like I said, anyone in here can do that.
Thank you.
Hardworking, humble, amazing. Rochelle, I'm very happy to be able to call you an old friend. Very happy.
Thank you, Ken.
Rachel, you've been awfully quiet over there, which is very unlike you.
Can you hear me? Okay. I feel like I totally under-answered the first question, so I will make up for it this time.
Okay.
We're going to try to keep these next few questions kind of short to the point. Because I have some, I'm gonna pull from your soul right now, Penny and I both, so, yeah, just heads up.
So, Rachel, describe a major business challenge or other challenge in your life that you've had to resolve in order to get the position you're in.
I know my answer, I'm just scared to share it. Major challenge that I had to overcome to get to where I am now, that's correct? Believing in myself, and I know that sounds like a cliche, but for real, like made a lot of humongous life mistakes, and I came trying to do this without leaving out details. I've been married and divorced twice, and this will tie back in together, and I will be brief. My second husband was a very, very bad man, and he ruined me financially and emotionally.
Wow.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It was a rough ride. I was blind to a lot of what was actually going on, and then, you know, when you get beat down so long, at a certain point, thank God, I found the strength in myself to say, that is enough. That's where all the drive comes from, though. I got real clear, real fast on what I was creating for myself and my life and for my children and for the world. I realized that I do have the power to create the world for myself and for my people to live in. And that's exactly where it came from, the bad, bad thing.
That's a great answer. Yeah. I remember some of those days, yes.
Sue, how do you? A mentor. You ever have a mentor in your life? Someone that inspired you to go into business for yourself? And what, if you did you? Yes or no?
No,
No?
I did not. I was
Okay.
just crazy. I had what everyone else had, is that, you know, I can do a better job than they're doing.
Nice and close there, Sue. There you go.
You know, if everyone's looking for that, you know, you work for somebody else and they're your boss and you're like, I can do a better job than they're doing. And it's more of that, more of the drive.
You go, girl. You go, girl. And so 14 years later, right?
Right.
What would you say is your, if you had to pick one thing that is your single most accomplishment, and it doesn't have to be business related, what would it be?
I think just sustaining and growing for the 14 years and just kept on going when I didn't think that I could a lot of times. And there were a lot of times that I didn't have a clue how I was going to pay a bill and juggling money and things like that. And, you know, the injection companies, they're like, oh, we're going to give you 90-day terms and you can buy all this on 90-day terms and then you use that money to pay your rent and your employees, and then 90 days comes along and, well, we're not sending you any more product unless you pay your last bill, and, you know, you just learn to be a major, major juggler.
You're out of the red though, right?
What's that?
You're out of the red, right?
I'm out of the red.
Oh, amen.
Into the black.
I am out of the red now. I finally get a paycheck. I didn't get a paycheck for a long time.
And this event isn't called Black and Bling for nothing. We didn't invite unsuccessful women up here to talk to all of you.
Touche.
Rochelle, you mentioned you have children, you have a husband, you know, your children are obviously still in school,
Yes.
school
Yes.
age. How do you manage the balance? How do you balance the work life, the hectic schedule with your family life? How do you do it?
I really don't. I'm going to be honest. Some days it's great and other days it's not. I can be solidly functioning for 2 days and then fall apart for 3 days. Nobody can do it all or have it all. Some days I'm a great mom, I'm getting it all done, I'm cleaning the house, I've stayed in the kitchen and people are happy and then I'm not attending to my business. Other days I'm in my hat room making hats and I don't know where my children are. And that's the truth. I'm going to be honest. Okay? I guess you just try to balance it as best as you can. I would honestly love to have my own hat shop. Right now I work out of my home. So I think that's probably part of the balance is I learned to work at home and my husband was gracious enough to let me convert one of our rooms into a hat room so that when my children do have questions, they can come in and talk to me, or when my girls were a little bit little, I would set up a table and they could do crafts with me in there. But, you know, so you don't get all the dreams that you want at one time, but I do try to balance that as best I can while looking like a homeless elf.
I'm never going to get that homeless elf image out of my head.
Well, you're doing something right, because you look fabulous today.
I did it for you guys.
Thanks. Yvonne.
Yeah.
So, you're a go-getter. I see. Why are you scared? I want to know, maybe we all want to know, you know, every day you're doing good deeds for others, you're seeing, you know, people in not so hot situations. So how do you motivate yourself to keep moving along and keep strong? Is there a person, are there books, are there, where do you find it inside you? That motivation.
That's the easiest question to answer.
See, why were you afraid?
Because I wasn't sure if he was going to ask me something that easy. God and the Bible.
Amen.
Spent a lot of years fighting him, but he never let up on me. So I'm now a pastor. And I started out at the age of 16 becoming a pastor, preaching the sermons at the church on Sunday night and Wednesday night. And then I got mad at God, I turned against him. And for like 30 years,
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Why did you get mad at God?
because my son died. And he would have been 52. And I blame God for my son. And, but you know, one of the reasons this pantry started was because you always wonder why bad things happen to good people. And you have to look back when you get older, and if you give it a chance. And I finally came back to Jesus, to God, because one day I just couldn't stand it anymore. It was just terrifying. My life was a mess. It was about 12 years ago, and I'm 73. I'm going to be 74 in June, so I'm not no spring chicken. And when I was 23, I turned against the Lord. I was 65. All of a sudden, I realized something's wrong with my life, and it's never going to get fixed until I get back to the Bible and get back to God. And I realized that all those bad things that I've been through during my life, I went through your situation, so I know what you went through. Were so that I could do bountiful harvest. Because now when somebody walks through the door and they say, this has happened to me, or that's happened to me, or that's happened to me, I can actually sit them down and say, let's talk, because I've been there. And I would have never been able to do bountiful harvest with the passion I have now, and I not lived the life I lived. So I'm grateful, except for losing my son. I'm grateful for the life I lived.
Sue, is there a motto that you live by?
Questions ahead of time.
That's not genuine.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
I have a different question for you then.
Okay.
When you were in school, were you somebody who was a leader naturally? Or is this something that came out for you later in life?
Oh, much later. I was the most shy, bashful little girl that you would ever be. And most people have a really hard time believing that. But most of my life I was. And I, through her, went through, bad marriage, things like that. So, yeah, I'm definitely not a leader. Sorry.
Is that the alarm clock?
I can turn it off.
Tell her
Sorry,
we're
Sue. Please
Sorry,
continue.
Sue.
That's okay. So no, I've never been the leader. I've been the shy, bashful, introverted person, which has been a lot of what's made me successful because I've been able to read people. And most people are like that. They come in and they seem like they're all this, but they're really not. But you can kind of see through people because like you can kind of see yourself in a lot of people. And then you can understand why they think like they do. It's more successful.
I'm noticing a lot of things that you all have in common, absolutely. Rachel Evers, I noticed that you were nodding your head as Sue was saying that she was shy and retiring in school, and Katie and I were talking about this just yesterday when we were kind of going over some of these questions, and that is not at all what I would imagine for you. I would imagine that you were like a raging punk or like this, just not a shy and retiring wallflower or anything like that. Is that?
No, I was, growing up, I think I was scared of my own shadow. Fundamentally, deep down in my heart of hearts as a little girl, I always just wanted people to like me. And I was always scared that people would. So I was always really quiet. Wanted to be cool, but I'm never cool, right? I'm like the squarest nerd. I'm not a partier. Tried to party, didn't fit me. Tried to, do all the things to fit with these groups, and then late bloomer is accurate. I came into my own, and it's okay. I got okay with being how I want to be and how I need to be. Can I say something else?
You can say whatever you want.
So alongside that, I think it's important, right? Because at that time in my life when I was young and scared and shy and just wanted people to like me and could never understand when somebody didn't, like I took it so personally. And then, I grew into this like hateful, bitchy woman, young woman. I was mean, I was mad at the world, I was judging, I was like, you're a bad mom, you're not vaccinating your kids, and you're a bad mom because you're working, and I'm staying home. And so I went through my life, and it sucked, and hated me, and all this like weird built-up crap. And then, I've gotten into some situations, and I was like, all of these times in my life when I would say like, well, I would never divorce my husband. That's a great example. Guess who divorced her first husband, right? So I made some bad choices, and I paid some consequences, and then out the other side, I really get that we each have our own path. Like, walk a mile in my shoes really means something to me now. So when Sue's talking about, I'm sorry, what is your name? Yvonne, talking about being able to see yourself and other people, that's just it. Like, there but for the grace of God go I, so why not offer hands and love and, be there for each other? It's a long answer. There's my long answer.
Fantastic.
So in closing, I'm going to ask you each the same question. I want you to think about it. And I think I'm going to put you on the spot first. You just rolled your eyes at me. Shut up. I'm so glad we're friends because we can rip on each other. If you had one piece of advice for either someone that's thinking about being an entrepreneur, or they're in business, or maybe in their personal life, one piece of advice that you would give to the women and men, Jake. Two. Thanks, Jake, for coming.
Isn't that a man? I'm here.
Oh, Griffin's not coming. Hey. But if you could give one piece of advice for the folks in this room, what would it be?
Follow your inner voice. Everybody has it. Something that you've been wanting to do your whole life, or something you've always been thinking about. Take time, take a day, take an hour, and think about what that is, and then follow it. Don't get discouraged. Don't listen to the people that don't matter, because they don't matter. And stay true on that course. That's as simple as it gets. Stay focused, follow it.
Thank you. And by the way, this beautiful crown sitting up here on this table, you're welcome to come look at it. That is one of Rochelle's masterpieces as well. Beautiful. Yvonne?
Think about what really means most to you in your life and where you want to be when you grow up. Okay, and take a leap of faith.
Same question, Sue.
I'm a little bit more practical. I think really, before you start anything, really look at everything. How much money is it going to cost you? Do you really know what it's going to take? A big thing is, what's your competition? Is there a market? I've seen people jump into things and it's like they don't have a market. And, there's so many, I don't know what the statistics are of how many businesses fail in the first so many years, but it's really because people just aren't prepared. They just jump in and say, oh, I can do that. I myself, I just got lucky. And hard work, but I think really look everything over. I actually brought as a door prize today the book, the email, and it's just a great book, and that tells you the same thing. It talks about a pie maker who started that, oh, I can make a pie better than they can. They don't want to be an employee anymore. They stick their neck out and they go, like me, have no business background, and it's just practicalities. It's a little bit more than the emotional part for me. That would be my advice.
Thank you. You can join the chamber too, we'll help you. I speak the truth.
Rachel, same question. Your advice?
Yes, I'm really excited because I was thinking about this on the way here, and this is the main thing I wanted to say if I got up here today. Here it is, okay? Don't be afraid to fail, because when you get comfortable with failure, think about all the things you could do if you weren't so worried about screwing. So just don't be afraid to fail.
Just keep the applause going, please, for all these amazing women. Humble, strong, successful, passionate. Absolutely incredible. What a great example. I have 2 young daughters, and I can only hope that their mother's a great example. But I would love for them to have been here today to see some great examples, and you ladies as well. Thank you so much for sharing everything with us. We really appreciate it.
Your inspiration, your motivation. You guys were a great panel. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for telling from the heart. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we make Rachel cry. Great job, Joe. Great job.
Before we do that, I want to thank again Michelle Wilson with Mortgage One for being a presenting sponsor, participating. Thank you to those folks that brought goodies for those ladies.
Our table winner is table 7, the Habitat for Humanity table.
Come on up, Pam.
The glittery cowgirl, as I've been calling her. Kathleen Amke.
I have to thank Recycling Broadcast. Part of this blingy outfit is from my tap dancing at the Hartland Senior Center.
Don't go away, we got to get more photos of that Queen of Bling status.
Go ahead.
Black and Bling Day with the Hartland Chamber. I couldn't think of any better way to spend it with a bunch of wonderful women.
Hi, this was the inaugural event for Black and Bling, and it was a lot of fun. It celebrated a lot of great women. Thank you for inviting us.
I
thought the event was really great and inspiring. I loved hearing the different women's stories.
Here we are at the Hartland Women's International Day luncheon, and it was fabulous. We're just finishing up right now, and 4 great speakers telling us how they succeeded in business and how we all can relate together and make money.
We had a great turnout today. Our sponsors were wonderful. We had so many donations. People decorated their tables. We announced the Queen of Bling. There was so much going on. I'm overwhelmed by the reception, and the people were wonderful that came, so thank you.